Hi there, welcome to the Irish Founder Podcast presented by Nappers. I'm here, Pogarendi Parani, founder and CEO of Nablog Limited, Nappers. We are here to discuss about how Nappers incubate, help aspiring entrepreneurs in Ireland, how they can go from idea to established company. Here we have James, founder of Sustainable James Company, and here we welcome him.
Thank you, Falani. It's great to be here today and to discuss our business ventures.
Sure. So we just explain about the problem you care about, James.
So the problem I care about for Sustainable James is the problem of an eco-conscious, sustainable and quality product on the Irish market from the Irish market, and the specific details through production to the finished product in terms of quality and sustainability.
Okay, got it. So how much value that Irish market should rely on customizable product like renewable resources, renewable goods and services that originally authenticatedly origin and prepared and manufactured by the Irish are so essential, rather than importing the goods and export in expertise from outside of Ireland, from your perspective?
From my perspective, the import and export of goods is important. However, in the product line of sustainable products that I'm interested in for Sustainable James, the core issue is this: the imports of customizable gift products are not required because Ireland has the manufacturing, the industry and the woodlands and recycling facilities to create an eco-conscious flywheel for this product's development, production and end of life and life cycle.
Yep, that's nice. So you care about the originality and authenticity of the product that we could able to create resourceful and then to supply to the customers.
Yes, I care about the authenticity of the product, not just to supply to the customers, not just to make a positive impact in the environment, and also to create a quality, trusted name that is a quality, trusted Irish business.
Yep, got it. So how far you went from an idea to validate your idea, and then have you reached out to any suppliers to accommodate your idea to the product, and then have you gone through any funding in terms of the supplier acquisition as of now?
Thanks, that's a good question. So first of all, for the suppliers, I have contacted multiple Irish-based suppliers of the initial product offering, and I have successfully supplied a amount of inventory that I have brought Sustainable James's incubation, first part of the Sustainable James incubation stage, to a profitable level within 10 weeks using the supply company Guineas.
Got it.
And for funding with that, with suppliers and all of that, I have also reached out to college, which I am an alumni of. I have reached out to previous professors, teachers, and from my experience of suppliers for photography frames, I have reached and I'm discussing options with the original makers and suppliers of photo frames, which I have worked with in the past, which are so local to even Dublin.
So you channeled into photo frame customization, kind of a value-based product and services company. So what made you drawn into this specific field? Have you have any work experiences or expertise in photography, and then why you wanted to bring the impact of sustainable into the photography.
Okay, so my background here started with 10 years of film photography experience combined with filmmaking and sourcing the photo frames for the photography that I used to do right from the beginning of the product life cycle directly to the individualized customer for their customized product. This combined my experience of not just all of what I've said, but also the photography printing process, the editing process, specialist technical knowledge, and expectation of quality. The reason I have brought this to a business level now is that my interest in entrepreneurialism comes from the inspiration from my family going back to my father, who is an independent business owner, to my grandfather, who was and is an accountant for the Irish development and foreign investment sector. He was a public servant to set up the very first foreign investment in Ireland.
Wow, nice.
With a company called the Irish Investment Fund.
Nice.
This was in the 1950s, 1960s, and seeing all that's come from that, I'm almost obliged to follow.
Wow, nice. That's a great bloodline of success stories that you family contributing to Irish economy, and in terms of financial, sustainable, and now going forward, we are very happy to see that you brought in lot of stories and values that being transferred to entire your grandfather and father and yourself. So how could you able to assess yourself that you are comfortable to go upon your funding rounds? So I guess maybe you are into self-funding now. So how much you can see yourself through public funding supports and private funding supports and angel investor support and going forward?
So this is it. It's nothing without funding and partnerships and collaboration. So I am at the self-funding stage right now, and I'm very happy to be an incubator in the NAPOS incubation program, where I am developing the skills and business model plans to go forward on my project, on my venture. So with public funding, there is the Local Enterprise Office, there is Enterprise Ireland, and many more grants and opportunities here, which I'm in the early stages of. On the private side, I know that there will be eventually talk about venture capitalist and that kind of investment. There is also a lot of encouragement in the local community for grassroots and for entrepreneurial local go-getters. So I'm in conversation and collaboration either on once-off investments or on continued collaboration with stakeholders in the community right now.
No, that's got a great vision that you compiled in a simple answer, but the answer sounds like simple, but it took tons of energy and effort from your perspective, and then from my experience I could able to sense how much value you did, how much effort you grabbed, and then you aligned into constructively in order to come from an idea unto the validatable product, from the suppliers to the funding. And we are great to see you, and we are working towards from structurally in order to help you in a NAPOS incubate program week by week. or else in a customizable time frame, that going forward until private equity or an angel investors invest in your company 5 million, 10 million euros, maybe probably in 4 to 5 years, as we follow along the pathway of from self-funding to Leo to Enterprise Ireland and then to private capital investment, all the way go to HPSU, high potential startup funds. So how much clarity do you have in your unique value proposition of your product?
So thanks, Palani. Yes, as you know yourself, it takes a lot to get it from idea to market verification to institutional verification and beyond. So for my product to go beyond, I have the unique value proposition as a combined flywheel of 4 things. First of all, the fact is that I'm uniquely positioned with my family's history, with my multimedia and now business education.
Yep.
I am a part of a innovative NAPOS incubator program for entrepreneurs, and at this time in the market, the total market has never been bigger for sustainable products in Ireland.
Yep, true.
And Palani, out of the public and private side of investment development, what is your experience at the stage where I am at now, where you were?
Okay, so if I were in your position, I would able to build an MVP out of it, a product, and then I would collect testimonials from customer validation. I would reach out to 100 to 500 exact customers and have an interview and have one-to-one personalization calls with them and to report in the logs, and then you conduct a research about it, you come to a conclusion and you create a product, minimum viable product, MVP, and then make the MVP available to those customers and then ask them to use the product for free. And then if you felt the product has more value, then you can ask for small piece of subscriptions, and then once you have the customer acquisition on board, then you can go to grants, then you can approach Leo, then you can apply for small funding, or else, as you said, academia and then institutional validation may require into this kind of a research based of support. You can approach universities and Enterprise Ireland for innovation voucher. So the voucher helps you to grab from 10,000 to 15,000, little bit of in the range, so which Enterprise Ireland gives the money to the university and the professors. So the professors work for you. You have to get in 20% of the cost as from your company investing in the research. The researchers from the company and the university will work together and they will give you the product, and from that product you could able to get the feasibility grant from local enterprise offices. From that grant you could able to get it to a pre-seed startup funding. Once you are in pre-seed startup funding of 100,000 euros, you could able to get into HPSU, just 1.2 million euros of maximum from EI, and it has to be co-supported from the private equity. So it could be like once a snowball effect. Once your ball is rolling as along a product market acquisition, then you are in a way to get your funding from all the way to A to Z.
These are the next steps from A to Z for snowballing the success of a venture like this. And without this plan and without additional MVPs and unique value propositions, this is the key to whether a process or a business or founder can be replicated by somebody else or not. Isn't that it?
Yeah, no, it is exactly. that what the reason why Napos Incubate exists. In a sense, I prepared this product, this solution, as I faced the problem as along the way. So I documented the process, and I'm willing and care about people so that I can reduce aspiring founders from Republic of Ireland emerging from high schools and colleges and so far and so after that they wanted to start. I hold their hands by helping them that they can able to follow the pathway along with me, and that's the way I like to help people, like a one-on-one, like how we do work, like in a available time, and it could be like a 5 hours, 20 hours, 40 hours. It's purely depend upon the founder's contribution and availability to make the idea into happening things, like until the enterprise level establishment. So the company Nablog Limited, the products Napos Incubate, will be helping for people to go stage by stage, one by one. As you asked me, would this blueprint can be replicable? Yes, it is. So our aim from Napos Incubate is to help 1000 aspiring entrepreneurs in next 5 years. So this is the plan. I am keen to help people and to give them the value in a way how they could be able to understand easily. So that's why we are here, and we are giving the value for people who care about something, that the value will be helpful for some other people, that they can give the money and the company can generate the revenue and can create more employment into it, and then make a profit out of it and make a good living out of those people. So it's not just to rely on the work culture and then to go for work and then to stuck in a rat race. Anyone can become intuitionally independent if they could able to rely on someone and ask for help. If they can get the help in a way that reciprocatory thing, they can become independently successful. So that's why Napos Incubate help people to go from point A to point B.
That's great, and I definitely have a positive feedback to give about that, because as part of my venture with Sustainable James, I have now entered the next stage of all of the things we've discussed before, because of my collaboration with a key stakeholder and mentor as part of this program with Napos Incubate.
So James, so while in the education system in Irish culture, so they follow secondary leaving certificate, primary leaving certificate, and then to go on to the college to do masters and bachelors and higher level, like level 7, 8 and 9, right? So for me, it's like a little bit complex to understand. From your understanding, how, from which age students can able to lean upon entrepreneurial journey, not to rely on the workforce education system to get on to the university, to graduate, to get a job. What's your perspective on that?
Right, the entrepreneurial journey and how young people can start it is not dependent on continuing on through Leaving Cert to the university and this path alone. I actually met with a lady at a conference who had started her own initiative to get kids interested in entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Literally from 6 years old.
Wow.
And she was telling me all about her initiative that she started out of being a teacher and teaching these kids in the normal school day.
Wow, nice.
So there's so much more that you can do even in your school day, I would say to people. There are elective classes now. We don't call them electives in school. I went to college. It's called subjects.
Okay.
There are much more subjects
Okay.
in school now, and even more coming on every year,
Okay.
which contribute to things like app development, software use and specialist skill development there.
Yeah.
And coming out of that is the opportunity for all kinds of entrepreneurial initiatives, whether it's software as a service, physical products, services in general, and even more like that, which back when I was about 6 years old,
Okay.
the height of our entrepreneurship was the cake sale in Dalkey, where each family got together and produced a cake to go to the cake sale,
Nice.
which we would sell to create funds for some local initiatives.
Wow. Wow. No, it's really impressive that as a young age, as a family, as like a get-together events, they contribute and trying to embed the culture of creating a value and selling the value. So just like a fundamental of the entrepreneurship. Yeah.
That's one of the fundamentals that does get in to you early in Ireland, I would say, in school, and now you can pursue that in a wider variety of ways that I never even had when I was in school pursuing things that were finding value and selling a product of physical items. Well, now we're in this whole world, Web3 and everything like that is all here for us to venture on with.
Yeah. No, that's great actually. So we do have, and then I do see a lot of self-employed people and solopreneurs in terms of art and craft. So they are creating a small kind of a room and supply and change regarding they're welcoming the kids inside the workshop and they let grow the creativity. And I could be able to see a lot of self-interested people and solopreneurs and entrepreneurs in Ireland are doing so much of activity. And I think last year local enterprise officers hosted in Leopardstown horse like a race course. There's an event called Creativity. I think Leo Creativity is some kind of an event. There are 50 plus solopreneurs and entrepreneurs out there. They show the creativity which engaging with the kids. So the kids came and played with the artifacts and then they sold out of artifacts in terms of Legos and laser printed services and then 3D printing services. That's a lot of fun and also value creation. And then they let other people to know these are all the things that the kids can engage from the young age itself. That's a great thing. You know, I had an experience last year.
That's brilliant to hear that even up in Leopardstown, that's just one example of these creative industry entrepreneurial events where the kids get involved and they're learning this creation of value process. For me, it was similar in that whatever tool was available to me, I took and I ran with it. Literally, I would go to filmmaking and photography local events like this. I would talk to the adults there who would show me these products and it was great. And from my perspective, lots of fun. Also, there were lots of products sold and contributions to the local economy,
Yep.
which propelled me onto my filmmaking. And I got this tiny little square waterproof camera
Okay.
that's called GoPro.
Yeah.
It's very big at the time, wasn't very expensive,
Yeah.
and I was just running around with this camera with my friends after an event like that,
Got it.
and I continued on from there. So how I would say to repeat that as a flywheel for young people again
Yeah.
is a great snowballing process throughout time. Now, back then, anytime.
Yeah, for sure. If you could able to recall to that such invaluable moments and then able to connect to the activities what you're currently now, it's like planting a seed
Yes.
in all the ages that it makes sense to do trust your intuition and connect your past experience to the future predictions that you're going to do. Isn't it? It's so crucial to plant the seed at the right age.
Yes, you said it. It's about future predictions and not about the magical thinking kind
Yep.
of predictions, but actually about the market validation and opportunities that we will have in 3 years' time that 15-year-olds today will have when they are 18. And that is predictable, that's measurable, the data is out there in industry specifics, in total market, and in initiatives. So this is a great snowballing moment that you have identified that really does pave the way for entrepreneurs now and is traceable back to key moments like we've just been discussing.
Yep, got it.
How would you identify more moments like this for young people?
So, in my perspective, the core value of Napos incubators is a product which documents all the milestones, all the achievements, all the applications, all the efforts you took, and all the initiatives, all the interviews you conduct for market validation, all the interactions with your prospects. Everything will be stored in the product. So you could use the portfolio to showcase to your future investors, and then public sector, key decision makers, academia, head of leaders, and then institutional leaders. So we have an entrepreneurial journey of portfolio. So that's what we are. So we are real humans here to help you out in a way, the way that you wanted to learn entrepreneurial journey on your own way, with a documentation. As I told, at kids events and interactions, the way the opportunity we create them to let the creativity flow is the same thing. We are doing it for school students to follow upon to go on to the college, and then to be self-funded, to have your self-employed, and then to become a self-employed entrepreneur, aspiring on to like a real entrepreneur. They need to believe in the self-journaling system. So most of the people write the journal and they throw it away, and then they kept somewhere, they will be getting lost. But if you have it in a product, and if you had a real product manager helping you along the way as like a mentor for sure, so we could able to guide, and then we could able to create a structured portfolio for you, and then to lead the way of successful venture.
I hear you. This is a verified product. This is a supported one-on-one, detailed and fantastic value that's provided to everybody who uses it. I'm even thinking back at the moment, I'd have put my achievements in a notebook in and around that time of you're doing your leaving cert, trying to organize so many things that you've never organized at the same time in your life, and you lose this evidence. You put it somewhere, it goes into a locker, you never see it again.
Exactly. So we are an online repository for your success of an entrepreneurial venture, and how you evolve from a person A to person B. That immense of abundance of value you create from yourself, and then which let other people to embrace themselves, and then they pursue the value you created, and then they share the value in terms of revenue. Then the company grows, you employ people, and the economy grows. This is the aim of the product and what we do.
Like you said, that's what I've learned so far, in that if I'm pursuing a business venture now versus before, one of the key things I have learned is that as long as I am giving myself feedback in terms of revenue and being supported in the development of the venture, like at the stage I am now with Sustainable James, then I'm on the correct path. That was a hard lesson that I learned. That if I don't have this combined path, this template, which verifies itself, which backs itself up with revenue, with needing collaboration and further key values, then we're not really getting it. But now it's different.
So you have a holistic and image that you could able to figure out and place yourself where you are at, where you wanted to move next, step by step on your own convenience.
Yes, that's a really good way of putting it, because we are in a ever more dynamic and online, virtual, remote environment now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
True, I agree. Yep, James, we received a lot of value from you and today this conversation. Go ahead and then, yep, thank you for your time and your effort and answering all the questions for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Palani. Thanks for having me. Hope to be on again.